Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia, and as you can see here, this video is going to show you guys how to do this triangle shawl using the block stitch or the box stitch. And I'm using this new yarn called Ogo by Yarnspiration. It's a big donut, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And as well, I'm doing I did two more scarves using the same stitch here, except I did one horizontally as a scarf and I did one vertically as a scarf as well. So look out for those. But for this video, we're going to be working on this, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so before we get this project started, I'm going to show you all the materials that we're using for it. So as you can see here, I have my yarn. This is Carron Big Donut by Yarnspiration Ogo. And as you can see here, these are the colors that are coming together for this. Let me flip it on this side first. So these are the colors that are going to be used to do this project. They do have different combination of colors that you can buy. These are the colors that I chose for my triangle shawl. And just a little bit more details. This is a medium weight number 4. Recommended hook size is 5mm crochet hook. It's 100% acrylic. And these are the measurements here. So 280 grams, 9.9 ounces, 502 yards, 459 meters. And this color is called Blue Moon. Okay, so we're going to be using this Blue Moon to do our triangle shawl today. And for crochet hook, I'm going to be using a little bit bigger size than what is recommended. I'm using a 5.5mm crochet hook. And of course, I need my scissors to be able to cut my strands, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovely, so to get the project started, I'm going to start by doing a magic circle. So this is how I do my magic circle here. I just create a loop like so. Then I put my hook through and I do a chain 1 just to kind of lock that in like that. Okay, so this is my magic circle in here. And for this project, we're going to start by doing a chain of 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do, in this magic circle here, we're going to do 4 double crochet stitches. Okay, so we're going to just go right into that. So this is the first double crochet stitch. Oops, it's a little bit tricky. You have to make sure you're holding your magic circle open for now because you're working into it. And if it gets too tight, you just pull this and it creates it, makes it bigger. Okay, so that's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that is the chain 5 here, and then we have our 4 double crochet stitches into the magic circle, and then we're going to chain 2. Okay, and then we're going to do 4 more double crochets in that same gap. So that's 1, 2, okay, 3, and 4. Okay, like that. So that's what you should have so far. And then we're going to do another chain of 2, and then we're going to do another double crochet at the end here, and that is kind of to match this side here. Okay, so that is pretty much how your first row should look like. Okay, so at this point you can pull the magic circle shut. It's up to you. You can leave it open, but it's good to pull it shut so that it doesn't come off by accident and you unravel your work. Okay, so that's how the first row looks like. And we're going to move on to the second row. I'm going to do a chain of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then turn. Okay, and then in this very big gap here, I'm going to do a single crochet stitch just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do a chain of 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in this big gap in the middle where we did our chain 2, I'm going to do another single crochet stitch like that. Okay, and if you look at your work, you're creating these gaps here where you're going to be working into. Okay, and then I'm going to do a chain of 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'm going to do another single crochet stitch in that same big space in the middle where we did our chain 2. So this is going to create the center portion of our work here. Okay, and then I'm going to do a chain of 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm just gonna get more yarn here. And after we do our chain 5, we're going to go and do a single crochet in this space right here. Okay, so we're just gonna go right into the space and do our single crochet like that. Okay, and then we're going to do, oops, 1 second here. Okay, and then we're going to do a chain of 2. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to use the previous chain 5 that we did, 1, 2, in this third one here. Okay, right there I'm going to do a double crochet stitch. Okay, just like that. And the reason I'm doing that here is because it counts as a chain 5 like we did in the previous on the previous side or on the other side. Okay, so that chain 2 here, or this chain 2 plus the double crochet makes it the chain 5. Okay, all right, so we're going to move on and we're going to do our third row. And for our third row, we're going to do a chain of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn our work. Okay, and in this very big gap here, I'm going to do 4 double crochet stitches. So that's 1, and 2, and 3, and just pull your work so you can make space to do enough, all the 4 double crochet stitches in the gap. Okay, and that's what we have so far. So we have these 4 double crochet stitches in this space. Okay, I'm just grabbing more yarn here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a chain of 1. Okay, and in the next gap here I'm going to do 4 more double crochet stitches, and I'm going to chain 1. And in this big gap in the middle, so we've reached the middle of our work, we're going to do 4 double crochets after we have done a chain of 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then I'm going to do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to create 4 more double crochets in the middle gap. So that's 1, and 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that is the middle part that we're creating, as you can see right there. And this is one side, and then we're going to repeat what we did on the other side on this side here. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 4 more double crochets in this gap here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then I'm going to do a chain of 1, and in this big gap here I'm going to do 4 more double crochet stitches. So this is very simple work, and what we just did is the last 2 rows, or the previous row and this row, are our 2 repeat rows, and you're going to pretty much be using these stitches 2 rows until you build up your work. Okay, so it's not too complicated, it's just doing the block stitch but in a triangle format. So that's our 4, like that. Oops. And then I'm going to do a chain of 2. And then in this chain 5, I'm going to count up 1, 2, and 3. In this third stitch here, I'm going to do a double crochet stitch, just like that. So now it matches this side, as you can see here. Okay, so that's our work. And like I said again, you're going to repeat the previous row where we create spaces to put our block stitches, and then you're going to do the block stitches, which is what we just finished here, and then do another row of creating the gaps, and then just continue to do that until you build up your work. So I can show you how to start that row of building your block stitches. So of course you start by doing a chain of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 5. Turn your work, and in this very big gap here, you're going to do a single crochet stitch, just like that. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this next big gap here, do your next single crochet stitch. Okay, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the next big gap, do your single crochet stitch. Okay, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we've reached the middle, which is our, I believe it was our chain 3 space from the previous row. Okay, and in this gap here, we're going to do our single crochet stitch, just like that. And then you're going to do a chain of 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do a single crochet in that same gap. Again, the reason we're doing that is it creates this middle part of our work. Okay, and now that we have that, we're going to do a chain of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the next gap here, do our single crochet stitch. And now we're just repeating what we did on this side, right? So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next big gap here, which is our chain 1 from the previous row, do a single crochet stitch, chain 5, 3, 4, 5. In the final space here on the other side, do a single crochet stitch, chain 2, 1, 2, and count up your 1, 2, 3. In your third space right here, do your double crochet stitch, and the chain 2 plus a double crochet makes your 5, chain 5 to match this side. Okay, so again, and just kind of stretch up your work as you go so that you can start to see how your triangle is gonna go. So this is going to build a little bit curving more on the inwards instead of straight like this. So if you remember, this next row is going to be the row where we do our block stitches. And again, you start by doing a chain 5, do 4 double crochets in this gap here, chain 1, do 4 double crochet stitches in this gap here, and then chain 1, and then continue in this middle gap here. You're going to do 4 double crochet stitches, chain 3, 4 double crochet stitches in the same gap, chain 1, and then continue to finish off the rest of it that way. And then the next row after that is going to be the row of creating these gaps again with just a row of chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, single crochet, all, and that you just continue to do that until you build up your work. Okay, so I'll let you guys continue to work on your work here. What I will do is I have this cake that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. This is what I'm working on right now, this color, and then it's going to transition by itself to the remaining of the colors. So I'm going to do my shawl until I finish it off with this color here. So when I have completed and I have reached this color and I have enough to do the borders, then I'm going to come back and I'll show you guys how to do the final borders, and our triangle shawl will be completed. Okay, so I'll see you guys at the end. Okay, my lovelies, so I have reached the end of this shawl for now. We still have to do the border, but as you can see by the end, by the way, I'm almost done the yarn from the donut. Like I said, I was just going to use one donut to do it. And in this case here, I have that much yarn left, and I'm going to hope that this is going to be enough for me to do the border. And we're doing the Picot border, so this is what I have left. And just to go look at our work here again, so as you can see, this is where we started the project right here. Okay, this is where we started it here, and then we pretty much worked up, as you can see, the yellow color here, and then the other shade of yellow, and then we just went on and continued to work the project, and these are all the colors, and then this is my final color, and that's the end. So because I have run out of the yarn, then we need to stop here. So it does turn out to be a little bit of a smaller shawl than I had expected or I would have liked to make, but it's okay. I have many big shawls. This one here is just going to be one of those nice and small and cute ones. Of course, if you want to do yours much bigger, then you would probably have to get a second donut. And you can either just use this color all in one spot, like as in when you reach this other color, cut it and then reconnect this color from a different donut, and then just continue to build these a lot wider blocks of the different colors. Or you can simply just do all of it to this end here and then reconnect your other donut, which is going to start with this here. Or you could even reverse it, where when you get to here you continue to do that, and the next one is going to be that, and the next one is going to be, anyways, however you want to do that, that's all up to you. But I'm going to stop here because I'm going to start doing the borders here. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do the Pico border really quick for those of you who are not familiar with it. And then I'll have you guys work with it all throughout to the end. And as you guys can see here too, I decided to end with this row of the chain 5 and then single crochet in the gaps, just because I didn't want to have to waste some of this yarn, and I think it's gonna look nice like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do the first a little bit of the Pico bordering here, and then you guys can go ahead and do the rest of it on your own, and I will finish mine as well, and then we will look at our finished product when it's fully finished with the border. And also the border is optional, so for those of you who may just want to leave it like this, then you could just end your project here, cut your yarn off, weave it in, and then it's done. But for those of you who want to do the Pico bordering, then this is how you do it. So I do it a little bit different than maybe some people. So I'm just gonna do a chain of 1 here, okay, and then turn my work, and then from here I'm going to do a single crochet right in this very first gap here, okay, like that. And then I'm going to do a chain of 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm going to go right into the stitch like this. I'm just going to grab these 2 stitches like this, and I'm going to do a slip stitch, okay, and this is a Picot right here, okay. And then I'm going to go into this gap that I have in here, this first one here. I'm going to go in here and do a single crochet, and then I'm going to do 3 single crochets in this gap here. So 1, 2, and 3. And the reason I'm doing 3 is because I did 1 single crochet in this gap. So altogether here there's 4 single crochet stitches. And then in this single crochet stitch that we did from the previous row, I'm going to go in there and do a single crochet stitch like that. And then I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to do my Picot right here. So the chain 4 is to create the Picot. And also just FYI to you guys, this Picot bordering is, if you want to make them a little bit smaller, you do less chain. So you could do a chain of 2. If you want to make it really small, you could do a chain of 3. This is a chain of 4. You could also do more chains to make it a little bit bigger. So if you did 5, 6, or however, then these would be a little bit bigger in size. But this is what the chain 4 gets you right here. Okay, so after I do that, then I'm gonna go into this next gap here, and I'm gonna do 4 single crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, oops, sorry about that, 3 and 4, okay, like that. This color is a little bit darker with my background, but as you can see, that's what I'm talking about. And then in this chain one spot from the previous or the single crochet in the single crochet gap from the previous row, you're going to do another single crochet there, and then you're going to do your chain of 4 and then do your picot. And like I said, I'll go in like this and picking up the 2 loops there and then doing my picot like that. And then I'm going to go into this big gap here again and do 4 single crochet stitches. So that's 1 and 2, 3 and 4 like that. And then in this single crochet stitch from the previous row, I'm going to do another single crochet right there, and then a picot by doing chain of 4 first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then grabbing these 2 loops right here, so this loop and this loop, and then doing a slip stitch. Okay, so this is how your work should look like with the border of the picot. Okay, and then you go again and repeat that by doing 4 single crochets in this gap here. Okay, so that's 3 and 4, and then a final single crochet on top of the single crochet from the previous row, and then do your picot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slip stitch in these 2 loops right here. Okay, this part of the doing of the border, you got to be careful just so you can make sure they're even and all of that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much how the border looks here. So I will ask you guys to do this all around. Okay, so it's gonna take you all the way. In this middle part here, I will do a picot in the middle, and then so do 2 single crochets on this side, do a picot in the middle, do 2 single crochets on this side, and then continue to do your work. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm gonna do all throughout. When I get to the other end of the shawl, which is this other corner here, then I'm gonna come back to the video and show you guys how the complete project looks. Okay, so I'll see you guys when you're done your bordering. Okay, my lovelies, so as you can see here, I have completed doing my picot borders all around here beside the front part of the shawl. Okay, so and that's literally all the yarn I have. So I literally timed it so well, or kind of measured it mentally so well, that at the end of it, that is literally all that I have, which is really lucky of me, because if I ran out somewhere here, then I would have not had enough yarn to complete the project. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and weave the end here later. So I'm gonna just kind of lock it in now so I can weave it in later. And then so as you can see, this is pretty much how it looks like with the picot borders. That's the middle part right here, and that's pretty much the whole completed shawl here. This is where we started the project, so I'm going to weave these in as well, and then that's pretty much going to be it. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the end of the project here. Thank you so much for watching the video to the end, and I hope you guys will try these out and show me if you're on Instagram or Facebook. I go by Simply BE-You-TEA on both of those platforms. BE-You-TEA on Facebook and Simply BE-You-TEA on Instagram. You can always tag me on all the projects that you do from my channel. And yeah, thank you so much again. And I would like to remind you guys to subscribe if you would like, if you haven't yet, and make sure you comment if you have any questions, and as well hit the notification bell so you can be notified of any future videos that I post. And I will see you guys on my next video. Kwaheri.